Well, what's up, everybody? My name is Chase, and I'm here today. We are celebrating Foster Care Awareness Month. And so over the next few weeks, I am getting the opportunity to interview some people in our church that are involved in foster care in some way. So today, I get the wonderful opportunity to interview somebody that I'm excited to interview, that I am connected with in foster care. Kind of, sort of, maybe. So let's start with the easy question. Who are you, and how are you involved in this broad term called foster care?
Well, I'm Krista Stevens. Although I'm not on paper a member at REC, I do go here, and my husband's on staff, Brendan Stevens. We've been at the church for about a year. I work at Bethany Christian Services, and I've been doing social work because that's my degree and my trade for over 10 years. But I've been with Bethany for about 8. It's been at least 10 years. I've lost track. So that's my involvement. My title at Bethany is Executive Branch Director, so I manage the branch.
I like that. Sounds fancy.
That wasn't always my title. That's a recent title.
All right, awesome. Yeah. So you're involved with Bethany,
yep.
and specifically this week, there are different kind of avenues, if you will, of foster care. But specifically this week, we want to talk about domestic foster care. And when I think of foster care, just be real, my initial thought is like the movie Annie, right? You know, kind of not so great parents that are just in it to get a lot of kids, to get a lot of money, or, you know, I don't know, maybe that's silly, but what exactly, for someone listening, like, what is domestic foster care specifically?
Right. Well, there's a lot of myths surrounding foster care, really a lot of child welfare things. But for the sake of today, domestic foster care. Simply put, just logistically, foster care is a living, breathing thing. It involves child protective services. So if a child is in a home and is determined unsafe, the state of Michigan comes in, removes that child if it's warranted because there is some genuine abuse or neglect. So that's where an agency like Bethany comes in. We have a team of foster care workers. We have a team of licensing workers who work with the foster parents to move them through the licensing process so that they are an approved foster home. And then that child or children are placed in that foster home until they can be safely returned to their family of origin, whatever that may be. So logistically, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, so foster care is about taking care of a kid that needs to be taken care of for a season to help them get back to their family.
Right.
I think that's an important piece that is often missed.
That's definitely the goal. That's the state of Michigan goal. That's a private agency goal. There's a lot of evidence that also says children belong with their families. Sure. They grow and thrive best there. Yeah, for sure. Sometimes that's not possible. Totally understand that, but we do try and reunify them with their family of origin or their biological family or next of kin as much as possible.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so now the question, that the real purpose that I think we're doing this and really highlighting this month is, I believe that Christians are called, commanded, not just suggested, to be involved with orphans, widows. I think foster care, you could even get that specific. But I don't think it looks the same for everyone. So what are some different ways that we can get involved with foster care, specifically with Bethany?
Yeah, sure. And I'll add to that a little bit too. So Bethany believes that as well, that this is a mandate, which isn't a bad thing. You know, it's a call to action. And part of Bethany's vision is that we're a Matthew 25 organization, so aiding the orphan and the widow. So tracking what you're saying for that reason too. But I would kind of boil it or categorize it 3 ways. I would say, praying, right? Which is the most common way that we can all relate to. We can all relate to praying for health, wellness, and safety for our clients and our staff. That's critical. We love that. That's always welcome. The other way is to give. A lot of times I do have people come up to me and say, I'm not called to volunteer necessarily. I just know that that's not a good fit for whatever reason. But I really do feel like I have the finances to equip your agency with what they're doing. So there's that financial aspect. And then last but certainly not least, the most valuable is that volunteer component. So when I hear volunteer, I think foster parents.
Yeah.
I also think community. So I think there are a lot of people that are probably sitting in this room right now and feeling squirmy because you've felt a call on this before to consider being a foster parent, and I would just encourage you to lean into that. Lean into what's making you feel energized but uncomfortable. What feels scary sometimes are things we should step towards. Not always, but if it's God's calling. So you could be a foster parent. That's valuable. That's incredible. That's a tangible way to minister. But you can also surround a foster parent too, and that's what I mean by community. So you can step into that space, and we can get more into that either later or on a different day. But that's what I think of.
And I love that. And I would just say to that, like don't miss that piece of the community. Yeah. So I think I know we're always trying to keep short videos, but let's just be clear, you don't have to be a licensed foster care parent to impact foster care parents. You probably know somebody that is doing that in some way, and they need help. They don't always have all the clothes they need, or all the food they need, or all the toys they need, or all the stuff they need, or just help occasionally to be like, hey, I need to help to do this, that, or the other. It's okay to be a part of that community in that way. And I think that's it's okay for us to just say, you might not be called to foster care, but you are called to help in some way. And I think that tangible community way is really important.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, well, we are almost done. You get one more question. You have 28 seconds, I don't really know, 30 seconds. You have one last thing. If there's any one last thing you would want to say to people listening right now about Bethany, foster care, what would that be?
Yeah. I have so much to share about this. This is where my heart is. This is what I do for my job. This bleeds into everything that I do. So I would just say, ask questions, be curious. Come find me in the lobby. I'll be here today, but I'll also be here in the future. We're on staff. We're here every week. Happy to be here. So I would say just be curious, be open to the possibilities that God has in store. And the other thing is, don't leave this room without a next step. So if the next step is coming to see me at the table to ask more questions, if the next step is praying right here in your seat and say, God, make it clear to me what you want me to do next, don't get up without creating that next tangible step.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Krista. Appreciate it. Don't forget, she'll be in the lobby today with a little table set up and can answer any question you have. Dumb or smart questions. We like them all. All right. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget, Foster Care Awareness Month this month.
That's right.
Do something. See ya.